For almost 2,000 years, the Roman Colosseum has dominated the imagination of the world. Its enormous arches, towering walls, and broken stones appear to tell a simple story, a monument built for spectacle, power, and violence. It is one of the most studied buildings in human history, a structure that seems to reveal everything about the civilization that created it. Yet beneath the familiar image of the arena lies a hidden layer that changes the way we understand this ancient wonder. Deep below the surface, where thousands of Romans once gathered, there existed a complex underground world of tunnels, chambers, lifting systems, and mechanical devices. This hidden structure was designed to transform the arena above into a place where the unexpected could appear without warning. Animals could emerge from darkness, scenery could rise from beneath the ground. Performers and equipment could move unseen until the exact moment they were needed. But here is the unsettling part. The greatest achievement of the Colosseum may not have been the enormous stone structure visible above the city. It may have been the invisible machine beneath it. What if the true genius of the Roman Colosseum was not only in what ancient spectators saw, but in what they never saw? What if the greatest Roman illusion was created not through mystery or magic, but through engineering hidden beneath their feet? And this is where the contradiction begins. The Colosseum is remembered as a symbol of brutality, yet its underground systems reveal extraordinary organization, mathematics, and mechanical understanding. Beneath an arena associated with chaos existed a carefully controlled environment built with precision. History does not break easily, but here it bends. To understand the underground world of the Colosseum, we must first return to Imperial Rome during the 1st century AD. At this time, Rome was the center of a vast empire stretching across Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. The city itself was a place of enormous wealth, political ambition, and constant competition for public influence. After the chaotic reign of Emperor Nero and the destruction caused by the civil wars that followed, Emperor Vespasian of the Flavian dynasty sought to restore stability. One of his greatest projects was the construction of a massive amphitheater in the heart of Rome. Work began around AD 70 or 72 on land that had previously belonged to Nero's private palace complex. The message was deliberate. The emperor was taking a space once associated with personal luxury and transforming it into a public monument. The Colosseum would belong to Rome, not to a single ruler. Completed and inaugurated by Emperor Titus in AD 80, the amphitheater became the largest structure of its kind in the Roman world. It could hold tens of thousands of spectators who came to witness gladiatorial contests, animal hunts, executions, and elaborate public performances. The conventional image of the Colosseum is the arena floor surrounded by rising levels of seating. From above, it appeared to be a simple stage surrounded by stone, but the reality was far more complex. The original audience saw only the final result. They saw warriors entering the arena, animals appearing suddenly, and dramatic scenes unfolding before them. They did not see the hidden systems that made those events possible. Beneath the wooden arena floor was the Hypogeum, the underground complex that served as the operational heart of the Colosseum. And this is where the hidden story begins. The underground systems were not part of the original design when the Colosseum first opened. Archaeological evidence indicates that the Hypogeum was added later, most likely during the reign of Emperor Domitian at the end of the 1st century AD. As Roman spectacles became more elaborate, the need for greater control behind the scenes increased. The arena was no longer just an open space. It became a carefully engineered performance system. For centuries after the fall of the Western Roman Empire, this underground world disappeared from view. The Colosseum itself suffered damage from earthquakes, neglect, and the removal of stone for other construction projects. The arena floor collapsed and disappeared, but the underground structures became filled with debris and forgotten beneath layers of history. The rediscovery of the Hypogeum was not a single dramatic excavation. Instead, it emerged through generations of archaeological work, particularly during the 19th century and later restoration campaigns. Researchers slowly uncovered corridors, walls, shafts, and architectural remains that revealed a hidden engineering network beneath the famous monument. Imagine standing inside the Colosseum nearly 2,000 years ago. Above you, the roar of the crowd shakes the stone walls. Thousands of spectators wait for the next event. Sunlight pours across the arena. The emperor and officials watch from their privileged seats. But below the surface, in narrow passages illuminated by limited light, workers move through a completely different world. Here, animals are prepared. Equipment is positioned. Wooden platforms are raised. Every movement is calculated. The audience sees surprise. The workers below created. This is not myth. This is stone. The Hypogeum consisted of multiple underground passages and chambers arranged beneath the arena. Archaeologists have identified evidence of rooms used for storage, movement, and preparation. The design allowed performers, animals, and equipment to remain hidden until they were brought upward at the appropriate moment. One of the most impressive features was the system of elevators and lifting mechanisms. Ancient Roman technology used ropes, pulleys, wooden platforms, and counterweights to move heavy objects vertically. These devices allowed animals and scenery to rise from below the arena floor, creating sudden appearances that amazed spectators. Ancient writers described elaborate spectacles held in Roman amphitheaters, including events involving wild animals imported from across the empire. Lions, elephants, bears, and other creatures were displayed as symbols of Rome's control over distant lands. The underground system made these spectacles possible on a much larger scale. The measurements and physical remains of the Hypogeum demonstrate careful planning. The underground passages were not random tunnels carved beneath the building. They were organized spaces designed around movement and efficiency. Different sections served different functions, allowing large numbers of people, animals, and materials to operate without disrupting the spectacle above. The materials used reflected Roman engineering traditions: stone, brick-faced concrete, wood, and metal components combined to create a durable and functional system. Roman builders had developed advanced methods of concrete construction that allowed them to create enormous structures capable of surviving centuries. The Colosseum's underground world shows that Roman engineering was not only about creating impressive buildings. It was also about controlling space, movement, and human experience. Academic interpretation of the Hypogeum has evolved over time. Earlier historians often focused primarily on the events that took place inside the arena. Modern archaeology has shifted attention toward understanding how the building functioned as a complete system. The Colosseum was not simply a location where history happened. It was a machine designed to produce a specific emotional response. Every entrance, corridor, and hidden mechanism contributed to the feeling of power. The audience was meant to believe that the events unfolding before them were larger than ordinary life. The sudden appearance of animals or dramatic scenes reinforced the idea that Rome itself could command nature, technology, and human destiny. However, behind the spectacle was a reality that was far less visible. Thousands of workers, including engineers, laborers, animal handlers, and performers, were required to maintain these events. The illusion of effortless entertainment depended on enormous preparation. This leads to one of the most interesting interpretations of the underground systems. The mainstream archaeological explanation is straightforward. The Hypogeum was built to improve the efficiency and complexity of Roman spectacles. It allowed organizers to create more ambitious performances and manage the movement of people and materials. But some historians also view the underground structure as a reflection of Roman society itself. Above the arena was the public image of order, glory, and imperial confidence. Below it was the hidden labor that supported that image. The architecture mirrored the empire. The visible power depended on invisible systems. This interpretation does not suggest that the Colosseum contains a lost secret or an impossible achievement. The reality is more remarkable because it is human. The Romans achieved extraordinary results through organization, experimentation, and engineering knowledge developed over generations. The underground systems of the Colosseum remind us that ancient civilizations were not simple or primitive. They were capable of solving complex problems and creating environments designed to influence emotion and perception. Today, when visitors walk through the restored underground areas of the Colosseum, they are seeing something that ancient spectators never experienced. They are looking behind the curtain. They are seeing the machinery that created the spectacle. The empty corridors no longer echo with movement. The elevators no longer rise. The crowds have disappeared, yet the stones remain, preserving evidence of a world where architecture became theater and engineering became performance. Perhaps the greatest mystery of the Colosseum is not how the Romans built such a massive monument. The greater mystery is how they understood human attention so well. They understood that what people see matters, but they also understood that what remains hidden can be even more powerful. The underground systems beneath the Colosseum reveal a civilization that mastered not only stone and concrete, but anticipation itself. They created an arena where the unseen shaped the scene, where hidden mechanisms produced unforgettable moments above. And beneath the ancient stones of Rome remains a quiet reminder. History is not always buried because it has been forgotten. Sometimes it is buried because the most important parts of the story were hidden from view all along.